What if I told you that selling has nothing to do with being pushy? And, well, everything to do with understanding the human brain? Today, we are diving deep into the psychology of sales to figure out why people really buy things. And here's a hint. It is not about manipulation. It's all about connection.
So tell me if this sounds familiar. You've got a fantastic product, a brilliant service, but the sales, they just aren't happening. It's an incredibly frustrating problem to have, right? You know your offer is valuable, but for some reason, you just can't seem to connect with the very people who need it most.
But what if the answer isn't to just sell harder? What if the real secret is to understand the buyer's mind? That's exactly what we're going to unpack today, the 7 core psychological triggers that are behind every single buying decision. So let's dive in. Okay, let's kick things off with rule number 1. And I want you to really pay attention to this one because it is the absolute foundation for everything else. If you can get this, the other 6 will just click right into place.
Just think about it for a second. Nobody wakes up in the morning, pulls out a spreadsheet, and tries to decide what they feel like buying today. No way. It all starts with a spark, a gut reaction, a desire. That emotion is what gets them to even think about making a purchase. And this slide lays it out perfectly. Over here on the left, you've got that initial spark, that emotional, oh, I want this moment. And then on the right, logic comes swooping in to give them all the reasons to feel smart about the decision their heart already made. You see, logic is just the alibi for an emotional buy.
And that brings us to rule number 2. This one taps into one of the most powerful motivators in the human experience, something that drives almost everything we do.
This is so crucial. Yeah, moving towards something pleasant is a nice goal, but that urgent need to get away from a nagging, painful problem, that is a much more powerful driver for taking action. Pleasure is a want to have, but pain demands a solution, like right now.
Just look at the difference in urgency here. The feeling on the right, gaining something good, that's a nice thought for the future. But the feeling on the left, that stress, that pressure, that pain, that is an active fire that needs to be put out now. And this is why the best selling isn't about selling a dream. It's about solving a nightmare. All right, let's move on to rule number 3. Now this requires a complete mindset shift. It's about changing your role from a salesperson to, well, something else entirely. See, your goal isn't to force someone into making a decision. It's to be more of a guide, to light up the path ahead and help them come to their own conclusion. The hard sell is officially dead. Clarity, that's the new currency. And this is exactly how you do it. Instead of just shouting, hey, buy my financial planning service, you ask a question like, are you confident you're on track for retirement? The moment they realize the answer is no, their defensive walls come down. And suddenly they're the ones looking for a solution, and you're just there to guide them. It becomes their idea, not yours.
Rule number 4 gets right to the heart of something every seller dreads: objections. But what if we've been thinking about them all wrong this whole time?
We've all been there. You hear, it's too expensive, or maybe I need to think about it. And they feel like these huge roadblocks. But what is really going on under the surface? And here it is, the big insight. Most objections aren't about logic at all. They're actually expressions of fear. The real issue is a fear of failure, a fear of making the wrong choice, a fear of wasting their time and their money. So the answer isn't to just push harder. It's to reduce their fear. Your job is to build trust, to provide social proof, and to make the journey from where they are now to where they want to be feel as safe and as certain as possible. Okay, on to rule number 5. This is all about that critical moment of action. What is it that actually makes someone finally decide to pull the trigger and make a change? We humans, we love the status quo. Change is scary. A purchase only ever happens at the tipping point, that exact moment when the pain of their current situation becomes greater than their fear of the unknown. This question right here, this is what creates that tipping point. It forces people to really confront the cost of doing nothing. Same stress, same frustrations, same problems. When they truly feel that, that's when they're ready to move. Now, rule number 6 shifts the focus away from the customer and onto you. It's all about the subtle but powerful energy that you bring into every single conversation.
You know, people can smell desperation a mile away. If you are needy and grasping for that sale, it creates this pressure that actually repels potential customers. You have to be detached from the outcome.
The contrast here is just so stark. Desperation is a needy, clingy energy that pushes people away. But certainty, that calm, confident energy that says, I believe in what I have and it's here for you if you need it, that is magnetic. It pulls people in and makes you that trusted guide they're looking for.
And finally, we've arrived at rule number 7. This one takes on the single biggest objection we think we face, but it reframes it in a totally new light. Think about it. If someone is hesitating on the price, it's almost never about the number itself. It's because the value hasn't been made obvious enough. If the transformation you offer is crystal clear and they truly believe in the result, the price suddenly becomes way less of an obstacle. So, what this all comes down to is this. Sales is not manipulation. It is not about forcing anything. It's all about alignment. It's that beautiful moment when you perfectly match your solution to a person's deeply understood need, and you start attracting the right people effortlessly. So that's the final thought I really want to leave you with today. In your own work, in your very next conversation, just ask yourself this: am I pushing and trying to convince someone, or am I working to create true alignment? The answer to that question will change everything.